Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the struggling, bit overambitious photographer. If you're like me, I kind of want to make an effort for my images, like hurting for your art, I suppose. And I need to work on keeping things simple and being okay with that. So in today's episode, we will just jump in the car, pack the camera, take a couple of images at a nice area, and try not make too much of a fuss about it. Half a second, F32. It's quite nice being out. First image on this little coastline here, this beach. I have some quite interesting rock formations here, and I'm just trying to make an image of that. Actually, the thing I enjoy the most with this possible image, but I'm not sure will turn out, is the tree in the far background there. It's tiny. I don't think it will show in the final image, but still the foreground is somewhat interesting. We're going to explore a bit more here. There's actually a really famous spot here, the priest's bath, that we are going to try and make an image of. So I'm going to pack up and try and find that bath. Okay, this image isn't the best. It's kind of okay, I suppose. It's a nice enough warm-up image. I do have one problem with my large format photography, and it's composing. I kind of rush it, even though it's counterproductive. I mean, large format is supposed to be a slow process, and still I mess up the composition here. Up to the right there, the gap between the sea and the rock is kind of just awkward. That tree I spoke about, it's too small. All in all, it's not terrible. It's an okay warm-up image, I suppose. I rarely end up shooting what I set out to shoot. I haven't even found the priest bath yet, or the priest bathtub, which I think is the proper translation. Instead, I'm shooting a rock formation here, but in reality I'm trying to capture Stone Head, which lies way in the background there, or Stenshuvud as it's called in Sweden, which is a national park, and looking from this angle you kind of get the name. It kind of looks like a head made of stone. Even though the shape is quite strong and you instantly recognize it if you know about it. I don't think it's enough for an image. Instead, I am focusing on a strong foreground that is the subject of this image. And then we have that in the background, that national park, which a lot of people will recognize from this part. And even if you don't, it's kind of a nice little background subject. So hopefully the image works as well. I kind of measured this for f/22. I used photo pills to kind of figure out the smallest aperture I could get away with and still keeping everything in focus that I need to be in focus. f/22 at 10 meters away from my first main subject, my first foreground subject that I want to have tack sharp. It's about 10 meters away. So f/22 will get me infinity focus. So I measured this one. And now I'm just waiting for the perfect wave, which I think will add a bit to the composition. And 1 second will keep some structure to the water, won't just blur it completely. There will still be some structure left, which I find quite nice. So hopefully we'll get a nice little wave shortly. There we go. 1 second. I hope it timed it okay. This is the best image I've ever taken with my large format camera, and I haven't taken that many. Actually, this is the first time that the composition actually works as I intended out in the field, and it works on the negative as well. It's well balanced, it's a nice flow to it, and most importantly of all, it is placed in the world, it's recognizable. You instantly recognize this spot if you know about it. And even if you don't, as I said out in the field, it's kind of a nice, interesting background subject there, without being overwhelming. So I'm really pleased with this image. I might still be able to figure out this large format thing. I was quite intrigued by the rock formation there. And I kind of want to make another image here. So I looked around with my little view catcher, looking under every stone, leaving no stone untouched. But I just kept gravitating back to the same rock formation I just photographed. And well, I'm back at it. Missed the composition once again. Bit sloppy again. It's okay in general, the idea is there. This could have worked. However, it's a bit unbalanced. Up to the left, I didn't leave the rock there enough space to breathe. Just tilting the camera slightly up would have helped. But hey, you live and you learn. And it's nice to be back at familiar grounds. Here it is, we made it, the priest's bathtub. It's kind of just this cool rock formation, if you're into that sort of thing. Realizing this will be tricky to shoot with the large format, and we are losing light. We are approaching sunset, and it looks like a beautiful sunset, but the sun sets inland here. Kind of knew that. This is more of a sunrise kind of location, but this was the only time I could get out and photograph, so we are doing the best we can with it. I'm going to try and set up one photograph with the large format, just because I kind of wanted to photograph this on large format, so we'll see if I'll manage. I have taken one snap with the digital, just in case. I can't really find a good framing of this. I just walked complete 360, or almost. And I can't find a good framing with my large format. I only have a standard lens for that camera. I probably need a wide angle for this shot. And I need some more light. So I'm going to call it and start heading back to the car. So with that, we left this field, jumped in my car, started driving back, realizing I have a busted tail light I need to fix. Enjoying this lovely sunset, I was quite pleased with myself. It was a pleasant evening, and I must say the images turned out okay. And it is okay. I proved to myself that it's okay to just jump in the car, drive to a nice location, walk perhaps 200 meters, take a couple of images and just head home again. It doesn't have to be more difficult than that.